Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new to the channel. So today, we'll be working on the SmartKart. So we've been having a bunch of delays lately. We haven't been pushing out content the way we wanted to. We're both stuck in doing different stuff. So as you can see, in the previous video, we worked on Nick's car. So we got that completed. That thing works awesome now. He's been driving it around, breaking in the clutch before we can start doing some burnouts. So an update will come soon on that one. Jean, well, he's been slacking. You can write down in the comments saying we want more updates on the AC Cobra with the Ferrari swap, because, well, he's definitely been slacking. I told him today it's been 2 months since the last episode of that one. As far as the go-kart that he was working on, well, that's on hold as well. He's waiting on somebody to fix up the clutch, and then that will be for sale. So we'll get rid of that. But that brings us to the SmartKart. So, not a lot of work has been done since the last episode, which is about, what, 2 weeks ago now? Maybe 3 weeks? Yeah, I've been slacking, but we do have some updates today. So yesterday, I started working on the car, but camera was dead, did not film. So I'm sorry about that, but I'll show you where I'm at this point. So, without further ado, let's get to the SmartKart. Would you look at that? We've got the SmartKart. So as you can see, still in the same shape that it was before, but we do have a trunk lid. So I'll pop that down. Well, I was gonna pop it down. It's not bolted on completely yet, but here we go. So what I did is I added this bar here, simply just to tie on the bumper and then tie on the hatch. I did a crossbar. I was gonna do an X, but then it was in the line of vision, so I said, nah, the hell with it. I just tack welded a bar going down this way. And the rest is pretty much exactly the way it was when we left off. We do have this sidebar here, which I added down. It's about as much of an angle I could get it. I really wanted to go more up front, but I couldn't do it with the stock seats. The stock seats wouldn't come out of there. And honestly, for what I'm building this for, I don't need to put aftermarket seats at this point. It's strictly gonna be something I'll try to do a donut in here, do some burnouts. Honestly, to be completely honest with you, I'm not even sure why I'm doing this whole build, but we do have a plan. If we can get to 500 subscribers, which I hope you're subscribing now, click that little button, that'd be great. We've got something that we have planned, which involves this and some of our merch. This is something that we had tried before, didn't go with that one, garage shirt now. But we do have some merch available, which you saw at the first of the video and at the back of the video. So if you're interested in that, check us out at Fueled by Haters Customs on Facebook. Send us a message right on here. Give us a contact and we'll hook you up. So this is what the bar looks like. What are the plans right now? So at this point, what I really want to do is add the bar on the other side. Once that is done, well, I'll make sure that everything is sturdy, and then we'll probably end up dropping the motor. Why do we gotta drop the motor? Well, I gotta make sure everything is completely welded under this car, and then we'll paint the roll cage. I do have a plan for that, because the whole car is getting painted anyways, and I'm thinking I might do something with the hood here. Maybe I can, the hood, I guess if I could call it the roof would be better, but I'm thinking maybe you put Fueled by Haters Customs on there or something. I'm not sure. Comment what you think. The whole car is going to be pearl white, so there's not going to be this gray anymore. Mainly because I find it looks a little odd, gray and white. So it's going to be all pearl white. That and the body is pretty scratched up. Just plastic, but it's scratched up. Brings us to another update that I want to talk to you about, is the steering component. So I'm still waiting for the spacers for the wheels, fit the stock wheels on this car. Sean, I'm waiting for you. But I know Sean has been busy for the last little bit, so we'll patiently wait. As far as the steering component, because you know the wheels were flipping back and forth because, well, there was a steering rack before. Well, that has now been removed completely. But the rear end is solid now. I'll show you what I did. Show you on this side because the other side is all suspension's off. But as you can tell, this is the stock outer tire rod, stock inner tire rod. I took apart the steering assembly and made a bracket welded on to this here. So everything is super solid, but it boils down to this here. Still having some issues with the suspension. Remember when I said I bought a set of coilovers that were supposed to be mint condition, but they weren't? Well, I wasn't able to free them off here, but I still need to, because the suspension needs to be higher than what it's at now. That means that if I get 2 more collars for each side, then I should be able to just run the suspension the way it is. Leave those 2 collars just dangling there, don't need them. But the whole fitment relies on when I get the spacers, because I need the spacers to proceed with the rest of the suspension fitting. So right now, let's get at it. I already have the pipe cut, just needs to tack it in, and I'll give you an update in a few seconds. Alrighty, so we're back. So I did had a bar on that side as well. So that concludes the roll cage. Obviously, at the end of it all, we're gonna have to put another bar in order to do like a firewall and an engine cover. So we can still put our trunks, still have some trunk space there. Don't mind me, it's really warm in here. I do not have AC in the garage. I do have the garage opened up. Pretty warm. You can hear the welder going on in the background. But yeah, so right now what I'm gonna do is take off the trunk lid, remove the bumper. I'll put the suspension back on temporarily, and just so I can drop the engine, hopefully. There's only a few bolts that hold it up. So we'll take that out, and it's gonna be the first time the car doesn't have its engine in a little while. So let's get at it. And just like that, the engine's on the ground. So yeah, now it's going to be time to reinforce the bottom, because at first I only did those temporary mounts there. So I'll reinforce the bottom, and then I'll lower it down, start welding every single thing that's in there, making sure that all the welds are done. And then it'll be paint time for the roll cage, and then sticking that back in the hole. Here we go. Well, it's now late, as you can see outside. It's all welded. So tomorrow we'll clean it up, prime it, and lay some paint on it, hopefully. We'll see. And we're back. It's the next day. Sort of. Kinda. Not really. So I started filming, and then my camera died while I was painting the cage, and then one thing led to another, and the cage is painted, engine is in. So, let me show you what I did. As you can tell, the cage is painted lime. Figured, why not put lime green on there? And the engine is in. So it's been more than a few days, to be completely honest with you. I ended up working a little bit here and there, and then I went to Grand Falls for the weekend, and now I'm back. So I didn't work at all on any car projects or anything during the weekend, simply because it was my brother's bachelor party. So we had some fun there. I went with Jean. He came along for the ATV run, but we did not work on cars. Speaking of Jean, wait and see, the next video is coming up. He said that he's gonna start working on the AC Cobra again. And since he hasn't been posting for a while, I made him a nice little shirt. So stay tuned on that one. So, as you can tell, car, well, roll cage is in. Show you a little bit of what we're gonna do. So as you can tell, the roll cage is in. This bar here holds the bumper, so it's the bumper support. Pretty simple cage, nothing too fancy, nothing too complex. Obviously the carpet's going here. We're gonna do a little back firewall, top engine firewall. And those plastic pieces need to be trimmed so they fit back in the factory spots. So that's where we are at with the vehicle right now. This is gonna conclude this episode. The next episode, we gotta A, figure out the wiring. B, we're getting our spacers. And then C, maybe at some point get it started. We also gotta do the shift linkage. We also gotta do the clutch, brake lines, etc., etc., etc. So a lot more to do. And now I'm starting to think, should I lift this up instead of lowering it down like this and then just use it an off-road rig? Well, let's get it finished first and then we'll see what we can do. So, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace!